It's the weekly show about proAV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Good morning,
Hi,
everyone. This is Gary
everyone.
Kay,
And Steph Beckett.
and you're watching rAVe TV, the industry's only live TV show that comes on every single week. We come to you live Wednesdays at 9 a.m. We restream at noon for the benefit of the rest of the world. And we come to you on ravepubs.com, on youtube.com/ravepubs, Facebook, LinkedIn. So, Steph, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I guess I left off X.
Oh, yes, X,
This is
formerly known as Twitter as well. But yes, I'm good, Gary. I was telling you that my latest thing that I do on ChatGPT is I take screenshots of my Instagram grid or other people's and tell it to roast it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you would like to know what it said about me.
Oh, well, it's funny. Off air, you told me what it said about me, so I think you ought to tell me
Yeah,
what it said
well,
about me too. You know?
Yeah, I only told you because it was like before we were on air. I didn't want to be mean to you on air, but I'll be mean to myself.
That's okay. You're mean to me all the time. No, just kidding. I know
It's
that you don't
true.
mean it, but I want to know what it said about you for sure, because it's interesting. I do look at your Instagram feeds because I do
Thank you.
find them quite interesting and snarky. So it'll be interesting to see what it says about you.
Okay, so the first thing it said about me, your feed has more clinking glasses than a New Year's Eve party, and I'm pretty sure your blood type is Prosecco. It also said, are you on the payroll for bridesmaid duties, or is this just a side hustle? Your feed is a series of wedding catalogs, and I'm not sure if you're about to catch another bouquet or just opened up a boutique for bridesmaid dresses. And then it said, if there is a guide on how to be an Instagram influencer without really trying, I'd say you wrote it. From the classic sitting on the grass with a drink pose to the obligatory laughing candidly with a drink in hand shot, you've hit all the marks. But it finally said, you've got enough joy in these posts to light up a small city, whether it's a festival, a concert, or just brunch. Your vibe screams, living my best life, and it's contagious. Keep that energy coming. Just maybe throw in a sleepy Sunday shot to remind us you're human.
Wow, that gives you a lot of detail there.
Yeah, I know. I think I've really trained it to be funny. So it can be done, people. AI can be funny. You just have to train
And
it.
which AI do you use? You use ChatGPT 4.0?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm requiring my students at UNC to use Claude AI. I found that Claude AI is up there to the level of 4.0, but it's free.
Yeah.
And also the nice thing about Claude AI is it can show all their work, right? Whereas
Okay.
ChatGPT 4.0, you don't get to see like the beginning prompt to the end without cutting and pasting, I guess. It gives you a log and everything. I don't know that it's as witty. Though.
Yeah, okay.
You
You should try it. Have your class take screenshots of their Instagram grids and then have it roast them.
That's a good send me an email and remind me of that, because you know me,
Okay,
I'm
I
old, I
will.
forget things. So you have to send me an email and remind me of that. I think that's a great exercise for the class.
Yeah, because I was
So what do
like,
you do?
is
Just say
this
roast me? You just say roast
I
me?
just I was like, okay, here is what my Instagram grid looks like. Roast me if you dare. And then it was like, okay.
Yep. Well, let's see.
Let's
I went and
see.
saw Aliens. Not so good.
Oh, I heard it was bad.
interesting.
Yeah, I heard that was
Yeah,
bad.
it was okay.
I saw Twisters again.
I don't want to hear about Twisters anymore. We talked about it for two
Okay, I won't tell you.
two shows already.
That's true.
Do you like it that much, or did you just go see it in 4D again?
No, I just went to see it regular this time,
Okay.
because I had some friends who wanted to see it.
Regular. I don't know if are you like me? Do you go to movies just to eat the popcorn sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I've been to bad movies. I knew they were not going to be that good. I'd eat the popcorn, and then I was like, okay, this movie's not good, and I'd leave.
But I'm also do you know that you can just not buy a movie ticket? Like, you can just roll up and be like,
but I
"Can I
have the
get some
AMC thing
popcorn?"
where you get free tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a Stubs member. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I don't know. I think I'm in like a lull with movies. I also went and saw Long Legs, that horror movie that came out kind of recently. and it was bad. It had so many good reviews, and it has like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like,
What
oh my
movie is
gosh,
this?
Long Legs.
Oh,
It's like it's a scary movie.
yeah.
And it had such good reviews, and I was so looking forward to it. I was like, yes, finally, a good horror movie. And then it was like, I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid.
Well, our producer, Carrie, just said with Nick Cage, I think it is possible that there is some sort of like conspiracy to make us like Nick Cage movies.
I think there is, because he is really working hard to have like a PR
A
comeback
bad
almost.
dossier.
Yeah. But
But
hey, I
good
will say
reviews.
he was really good in that movie. He was like the serial killer.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll
He
get,
was good. He
I've
was
gotten
in
where I
like,
just watch movies at home because
yeah,
if I'm in the mood for the popcorn, I'll go to the movie. But
yeah.
if I'm not,
Then
and
just,
by the way, I only pick movie theaters that have icy machines, the frozen Coke kind of
yeah.
thing. Yes, if they do
Okay,
not
but
have
what do
one,
you do if
you
you
are,
get
if
there?
you're a theater out there, you're not getting me unless you get one of those
Ooh.
machines.
But what do
So
you do if you get there and it's broken? Because the one at South
that has
Point,
happened.
always broken.
Okay, that has happened. If the movie
Yep.
was important to me, I'll stay. If it is not, I'm gone.
You're leaving.
Yes. Our AMC theater has
Yep.
12 has 12 different ones. So
Yes.
it's got a good shot that at least one of them is going to be spitting something out. But it is remarkable how often the red light is there,
Yeah, no,
letting you know that it's refreezing or whatever it does.
it's always not working. That
Yeah,
has happened to me like more times than not when I've gone to that movie
it
theater.
is odd. But look, hey, we do have stuff we got to talk about
We
AV
do.
related, including is it next week after next, or next week? Week after next, we are going to be in Denver for CEDIA Expo and Commercial Integrator Expo 2024, both in Denver. I said that already. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening there. I think we talked about the launch pad last week. That's going to be something kind of, I don't know if that's new. I think it's the second year they did that.
They're bringing it back, yeah, but that's kind of like a space for companies that are new to the industry, or just companies in general, to kind of have a space to come and talk about what they do. A lot of these companies are really, if they have something cool and new to offer to the market, so that is really exciting that they have a space where they can go to share that. And of course, CIX is going to be co-located with CEDIA Expo again, which is more of the light commercial, resi-mercial side of things, which is also really exciting because this also allows those home AV companies to bring their more like pro side of products as well. So it's going to be awesome. We're really looking forward to it. If you would like to go and you have not yet gotten your ducks in a row, we still have a code that works. So you can scan that QR code and it gets you into either show, both shows, with a free expo pass. So we hope
and
you
all
join
the
us.
education is free on the CIX side. So if you're interested in taking any of the classes that CIX is offering, all the education is free, including my class. I'll be there teaching a class about how the new AV is all about experiences. My class is Friday morning. So if you want to fly in Thursday afternoon and then go to the show all day Friday, Steph's leading a panel on lighting. My friend Toby Payne hopefully is going to help you out with that panel. I don't know if he's going to the show, but I know he finally responded to you, Steph, right?
Yes, we talked on the phone the other day. So yeah it's going to be great. It's kind of going to be talking about like the importance and the trends that are all in commercial lighting right now. So yeah, I'm very excited. Hope you guys join.
One of the big brands that'll be at the show is Legrand AV, and they are always a big part of all the AV shows. But in the case of CEDIA in the residential market, they have more residential products than they even have commercial products. You talk about brands like Chief, Daylight, Luxel, Mid-Atlantic, OnQ, which is more of a residential brand. Of course, the Legrand itself brand switches and lighting controllers. Sanus, which is a mount brand that's you see a lot of Sanus in some of the consumer stores, but they also have higher end products. And Vadio, of course, on the commercial side, and they're all going to be there at CEDIA 2024, and we hope that you'll go by and see them just because. And by the way, they have a bunch of shading brand. In fact, they are Legrand is the world's leading seller of of electronic shades.
Oh, cool.
Products. Yeah. So there's a lot of shading companies out there. But they're the leading company for
awesome.
electronic shades or remote control shades. So I forget
Well,
the brand. They're on the Vantage. That's the
Vantage,
brand.
yeah. If you want to learn more about what Legrand is bringing to CEDIA Expo or what they're doing there, you can scan that QR code. They have a whole space of their website dedicated to talking about what they're doing about this. So yeah, they just wanted us to draw your attention to that. And hopefully you guys can come to CEDIA Expo yourselves and check them out. So yeah. So Gary, we have a guest today and I'm really excited. You are going to be interviewing him. Tell me about what this interview is.
Okay, so I had a chance. He couldn't do the interview live, so I recorded it. But I want you to watch this. This guy, Richard Charschan, came out with a book called Home Theaterology. Now, 20 years ago, there was a home theater sort of like coffee table book that focused on Theo Calamacaris. I'm not pronouncing that right. He's well known as a high-end home theater designer, and he actually designed full movie theaters as well. Created a coffee table book for our industry to show what is possible, right? What you can do in the home theater market. Well, 20 years later now, sort of like a part 2 to this. Here's an updated version from Richard, and here's my interview with him, because this book not only has sort of like it's a coffee table book with a whole bunch of pictures of a whole bunch of amazing theaters that not just he designed, but they're all around the country. Some are themed, some are not. Some will inspire you to do your own home, but also he tells you how to build one. There's sort of a step-by-step blueprint. What is real? What is marketing hype? Like, you and I kind of laugh. Sometimes we get the press releases from companies that have $5,000 amplifiers, and then we see one that has a $25,000 amplifier with the same specs. He talks about that and sort of like what you should believe and what not to believe. So a little controversial. I think the book's going to be very successful. I think it's beautiful. And I can't wait for you to see one, Steph, at CEDIA. So check out this interview I did with Richard earlier this week. Hey everyone, this is Gary, and I'm excited to be joined with Richard Charschan, he's the founder of Acoustic Smart, but I'm here to talk to you about the book. The book is just beautiful. I cannot wait to put one on my copy. I mean, this is the kind of thing that anyone that looks at it's going to want to open. Richard, tell me about the sort of what drove you to do this book and a little bit about it.
Yeah. So as a theater designer for over 25 years, we found that there's a big sort of a disconnect between the architects and the integrators around the country.
Absolutely.
And what happens is when you're doing a theater, any kind of theater design, the first thing that happens is that you have to educate the architect and the interior designer on the do's and don'ts about what to do in a theater.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time. And sometimes it can throw an entire project off the course of a month or two. So the idea was to create a book that would be cool and fun, that would give clients and architects and interior designers especially inspiration and teach them a little bit about some of the do's and don'ts. Like we have a lot of interior designers now asking about acoustic wallpaper in theaters and things like that, and covering up speakers with wood and things, just things that don't really make much sense.
Yeah.
For somebody who has the experience and the idea is to sort of get rid of the disconnect and to create a way for the process to go smoother, because now we're educating them in a really cool and fun way. And it's also a great portfolio book for all our dealers. And it also educates the clients right before they're about to do a theater, like what's acoustics, why do we would need acoustics, and what is CEDIA? I can't tell you how many architects don't even know what CEDIA is and how do they find the right AV dealer. So we have all that in the book as well. I mean, it's something that has never been done before. The last book was 20 years ago by Theo Calamacaris.
Yeah, I have the last book. I actually still have the book. What's inside your book is kind of like, I would say it's a cross between National Geographic, like a really good National Geographic annual, and an educational piece. What I think is going to happen here is you're getting educated as you go through it, but you're now realizing the complexity of a theater, but also the beauty of that complexity.
Correct.
And it gives you as an integrator the ability to sell up a little bit, and because it's hard to spend a few $100,000 to millions of dollars on a theater when you can't visualize it. When you see it, and you get educated on it, educated customers typically spend a little bit more. They want the better quality.
Yeah, and also, how do you sell acoustic treatment? When I first started, we didn't have any showrooms, and nobody understood what we were all about and what we were doing. And it was this big mystery, like, why do I need this? And what is acoustic treatment? What's it all about? But once they were actually in a room and they experienced it and they saw what the actual treatment did,
yeah,
it was like a miracle happened. And then they were like, oh my God, like, I wish I would have been able to experience this so that I understand, because now I get it, but then, it's months later.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny. I have that last book, and I always wondered why we as an industry didn't do another one. So I'm very excited the fact that you did this, and I really appreciate you doing it. I know it's a lot of work to do something like this because you're not just sticking images in. You have to get permission. You have to get rights. You have to talk to a lot of people. I want to ask you about that. What was the most complicated part?
Well, look, it's been 4 years in the making, and you have to get the permission and all the photographs and trying to find the right people to shoot these rooms, because theater rooms are very hard to photograph because they're small. A lot of them are small. I mean, we are doing some pretty huge ones right now, and then they're dark. And how do you photograph it and give it the feel? You have to have a special lens. You have to have a wide angle lens. And we have some of the best people in the business who shot this book. A lot of the people that actually worked on Theo's book worked on this book. Some of the same people who shot Theo's book. And wow. Theo's actually in the book because, we're sort of like carrying the torch, And, but the rooms that we put in there, we didn't want to have these rooms that are over $1 million. We want it to be more of an accessible book. I mean, some rooms are over the top. We have like a Lord of the Rings theater that's really outrageous, and we have 2 or 3 theme theaters, but the rest of them are pretty normal. Because we don't want people to think that we're a theme theater company because we can build anything. The idea is to give the AV dealers a portfolio and really as a guideline. So when a client is looking to do a theater, hey, check out this book, and that'll really open their eyes and maybe inspire them to want to do it the right way rather than just putting, a 100-inch TV and 3 rows of seats and saying, look, I have a theater,
So where can we get the book? What's the easiest way to get it?
It's hometheaterology.net, and that's a pre-sale price. It's 25% off, and it's going all the way through CEDIA at that price point. And then after CEDIA, the price is going to be normal. It's a $90 book.
So hometheaterology.net. Again, Richard, first off, thanks for doing it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
If you're an integrator, you're an interior designer, you're even a home decorator, or even somebody interested in home theaters, this is a piece that this is the kind of thing you put on your coffee table, but it's got some amazing inspiration. And what I found interesting about it was that it can inspire you outside the theater, especially with the lighting elements and some of the design elements. Absolutely. So it's beyond theaters. I mean, you learn a lot about what the technology and how the technology is driving things, but I think you get inspired visually, Richard, throughout the entire home, really. And I also think I see more companies, to bring people back to the office. We're going to have to do more things. I'd love to see more companies put in theaters as a way to have gathering spaces rather than boring old meeting rooms. I don't know what you think about that, Richard.
Yeah, well, we have clients that actually have their meetings right in their theater. We had a client yesterday. We had a meeting. He wants to do Zoom meetings in his theater. Why? Because it's an acoustically perfect space. There's no echo, and he can probably get a lot of stuff there, without being bothered by anybody else around the environment. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a super cool book. It's 4 years in the making. I wanted to really help the industry because I love this industry, and this is something that I have a real passion for. And I think the AV dealers and the integrators are really going to get a kick out of it because there's a lot of cool stuff in there, stuff that people would never even think of. Like we have like all my favorite scenes that are demos, that are maybe hidden demos that people don't really know about, stuff that you don't see at CEDIA. So when you do a demo for somebody, it'll give you the goosebumps on the arms. Yeah. And if you see Richard walking the show floor at CEDIA, tell him thank you, but also introduce yourself because
he can really help you. So thank you very much. And of course, if you want to learn more about Richard's company, go to acousticsmart.com. Acousticsmart.com. Richard, you appreciate you coming on rAVe TV, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. All right. See you soon. See you at CEDIA.
Most meeting room audio solutions provide an inconsistent experience where some people sound okay, but others are barely intelligible. The Microflex Advance MXA902 integrated conferencing ceiling array not only provides superior audio capture with its array microphone, but clear and natural reproduction with its built-in loudspeaker. The result is a more equitable meeting experience for everyone on the call. Listen for yourself.
I'm currently sitting about 6 feet away from a typical all-in-one video conferencing soundbar. And from this distance, I sound okay.
I'm sitting about 12 feet away from the same soundbar. Note that my audio level is lower, my voice is a little bit muffled, and therefore I'm harder to understand.
We're now using the Shure MXA902 mounted in the ceiling of the room towards the front above the table. I'm sitting about 6 feet away from the microphone.
I'm sitting about 7 feet away from the MXA902, and therefore my voice quality is very similar to Andrew's. Because the MXA902 is mounted in the ceiling, it's a very similar distance to all talkers in this room, and the sound quality is consistent.
The MXA902 has a single zone of automatic coverage and picks up all talkers within a 20 by 20 foot area. The IntelliMix DSP balances the sound and removes room noise and echo.
Remote participants hear all talkers in the room, no matter where they sit. Consistent sound means a more equitable experience for all participants in the call.
The MXA902 integrated conferencing ceiling array provides superior sound that transforms meetings from tedious events to productive experiences. For more information, contact an authorized Shure reseller.
All right. So, on a related note, Shure is now also being distributed by TD SYNNEX globally. They already had a regional distribution agreement, but now they're being distributed by TD SYNNEX globally. Hey, Steph, I wrote an article about Clear One. Clear One's one of the. There's not very many public companies in our industry that are not giant.
Yeah.
Meaning, like Sony's a public company, but the pro division of Sony's not carved out separately when they report their earnings, but there aren't very many public companies that are just pro AV companies. Clear One is one of those companies that is a pro AV company, and they had their earnings announcement last week, and they have a sales decline from 5.4 million in Q2 2023 to 2.3 million in Q2 2024, and an actual 6-month decline as well, about the same percentage, from about 10 million to about 6 million. So the question is this a indicator for the industry that something's going on in the UC market, or is this just an indicator for Clear One? Clear One cited the struggles they've had in as being a smaller manufacturer and keeping up with production issues and shortages. They did cite that they had almost twice the number of leads. They literally pointed this out in the press release, twice as many leads at InfoComm 2024 than they did 2023. It'll be interesting to watch that, Steph, simply because they're kind of a bellwether indicator in that case of how the industry is doing historically, but they aren't blaming it on the industry. They're blaming it on supply.
Yeah. Well, it's just interesting because our industry, as we've talked about before, Gary, is notoriously secretive about how successful their businesses are. And, if they're just not a lot of public companies. So it is interesting to kind of use this as like okay, what's going on in the industry? How well are we really doing? But like they said, they don't think that this has anything to do with everything that's going on in the UCC market. They think it's, or that they say it's from production problems. So we did link to the full report if you want to read everything that Clear One had. It's at the very bottom of the story if you scroll to the bottom. So yeah.
Perfect. All right. So let's see. What other news do we have? Go ahead.
Ashindo, is that how you say it?
I think so,
Ashindo
yeah.
Director. So this is a fun product. We're seeing a lot of home AV products right now, of course, because CEDIA is on its way. So that Ashindo Immersive Audio, they debuted its Director LED wall loudspeaker system, which is a little bit of a mouthful, but that's okay. So LED walls they can give you audio challenges because the speakers can't be put
Behind the wall.
the acoustically transparent screen. So this is a solution that offers audio from a flush mount in ceiling speaker as part of its like larger Ashindo system. So if you want to read a little bit more about how it works, you can check that out on ravepubs.com. You can scan that QR code. It's also there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So our third sponsor and partner of the day is rAVe, and rAVe has announced that its NDI matrix tracking box, the MT300N, can now support the Cam series products Cam 520 Pro 3, Cam 550, and Cam 570, in addition to the full line of the award-winning proAV tracking cameras. And we have a whole story written up about that. If you want to read the full thing, you can feel free to go to ravepubs.com, as always.
Perfect. And
So,
well, see, we have rAVe in the news too, because they actually have NDI capability with their matrix tracking box, working with the Cam series of products, which includes a bunch of different models. You can see that story on ravepubs.com on our website as well. Obviously, NDI is big time in production and starting to become a factor in proAV as well. And then Smart Technologies and other news. Smart Technologies introduced a series of TAA compliant smart boards.
And Gary, for those who might not be familiar with what TAA compliance is, how would you describe that?
So the U.S. government has security concerns about products being built in countries like China that can't account for every little component that's in the product. So they came up with a system called TA compliance. That means that the manufacturer is guaranteeing that basically all the products are being built and are safe from any of these concerns that they have, right? And it's not just China, it's other countries as well. So you're getting a certification that says that your product is unlikely, not perfectly, but unlikely to be hacked or have problems with, chips inside of them that are not identifiable, or could have things on them, or, could be listened, or who knows all the different things that are going on in the spy world that you and I have no knowledge of. But if you're putting something in the Pentagon, you're putting something in the White House, you want to know what's going in there, and who could be accessing the content that's on there, and that's where that comes from. That's where it stems from originally. And of course, a lot of the different divisions of the government depending on who the president is, will use this as a way to buy made in America products versus other products as well. So as a manufacturer, you want to have a line of TA compliant products, and Smart is smartly bringing that to market now, and I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So very cool. And if you want to read that full story, you can, once again, on ravepubs.com, or you can scan that QR code. So next product, waveforming is now publicly available for Turnov's Altitude line. And this is their line of audio processors. So now it's got this room optimization technology that allows audio professionals and enthusiasts to really get that equal bass performance and consistency across any listening space. So waveforming is going to be the default feature of all the future Altitude products, and it can even be enabled on your existing Altitude processors, because there's a free software upgrade that you can just go online and do. So yeah, if you want to learn a little bit more about waveforming and what that does and how that helps you really be able to customize your listening experience, you can go read that full story at ravepubs.com once again.
And Extron, who makes everything from signal around distribution to control systems actually has a new series of keypad buttons, button panels, I should say, called the Flex series and the Flex EU series. So EU is for European, because Europe, they have square panels. We have Decora style rectangular panels. They give you the ability to simply control a room. So for example, if you just want volume control up, on, off, maybe channel switching, maybe you want input switching on the device, maybe you want some simple control and you don't want to have a touch panel in there, you just want to dumb it down for a simple room. That Flex series gives you that capability. It's a nicer design. You can have the volume be a touch button panel, a touch button, or you can have it be a volume knob. You can have mute buttons. You can customize them with the Crestron or the Extron control systems, and ultimately they are controllable from other control systems, but ultimately Extron wants you to buy their control system, and you can see that on our website at ravepubs.com. And so I heard that Taco Bell CTO is going to be the keynote speaker for DSE, Steph.
Which is so exciting. Well, Gary, you and I are both Taco Bell enthusiasts. I would say like apologists. Yes. Like people love to talk a lot of trash about Taco Bell, but like I would never. Because if no one's got me, Taco Bell has got me.
Look, Taco Bell does a service, because there is no cheaper fast food place than Taco Bell.
If you know what you're doing, if you order right, you're right. If you just go and get like a number 7 off the menu, no, you're not going to get it cheap. But if you use the app and you get the meal deal, you can eat for $6. Where else can you eat for $6 today?
Exactly.
Nowhere.
And when I was your age, Steph, you could eat for $3. You could completely fill yourself up for $3. So it is still a great deal at $6.
Yes.
And so he's gonna be keynoting the DSE show, which is in December, which is the industry's only dedicated digital signage. So, and I'd be interested to see, because of course, if you think about them, they're interested in simplifying the ordering process, everything from an app, which I do not like their system where you buy it with an app and you go through the drive-through and give them a number, because it is not any faster than just ordering it through the drive-through. It does not faster.
I do like that, but that's because I have social anxiety. So like I will fully
I totally get that. But it's not faster.
And forget what I'm doing.
It's not faster. So they need to figure that out, because Chick-fil-A's got them beat there, as does McDonald's even. But when you go in the store, you don't actually have to order from a human, which some people look at that as good, some people look at that as bad. But they do have a good kiosk system. But they're also using signage for a lot of other things as well. And so he'll be good keynote speaker. And then last but not least, we want to talk to you about Launch Week X, or what I'm calling Launch Week 10.
Launch Week 10, yeah.
Yeah, Launch Week 10 is coming up here in October, and we want you to register for Launch Week 10. Even if you're not sure if you can attend all the week-long festivities of Launch Week 10, just sign up, because it not only gives you the ability to pop in and out whenever you want, but also you have access to all the archives of all the recordings. And this event, this year's Launch Week, is also going to include a home AV day. So we have something for everyone, whether you're an end user, whether you're a specifier, an integrator. Definitely come. We're going to be giving away prizes during the week as well. And we have a bunch of new products that will be talked about on the show. We may even have some manufacturers launch new products on the show, like they did at Launch Week 9. And
also, Gary, do you know how many partners we have for this event? Like, so many organizations have partnered with us to put this on, and it's October 21st through 24th, by the way. So go ahead, scan the QR code, save your spot. And you can also do that at lavnch.com. But we've got HETMA partnering with us for this. IDEA, which is the Illinois Digital Educators Alliance, I think. Something like that, DSF is partnering with us, and also rAVe, which is Women in AV IT. And then Edge is partnering with us too. So we have so many cool people and organizations in the industry really backing us up and putting their time behind this. So we really want it to be an exciting event, and I believe it is already approved for 2.5 CTS-RUs per day. So that is 10 if you join every single day. So we're so excited. We also have a ton of other events coming up. We just didn't want to overwhelm everyone watching with like this and also this and also this. But do keep in mind that if you can't attend CEDIA Expo or CIX, we will be replaying both of those on September 19th, I believe it is. So go to launch.com, lavnch.com, and just take a look at all of the events we have coming up. It's like 5 or 6 this fall. So chances are there will be something that we have for you that you will want to see. So yeah.
Well, thanks for watching this weekly event, rAVe TV. You can always watch all of our recordings or all of our past rAVe TV shows. We should actually go back and watch episode 1, Steph, just out of curiosity.
I don't even think that we barely talked about AV. We were just like, do you like Disney movies?
I think we did. I think we actually did. But look, right, just go to ravepubs.com, click on the rAVe TV link. You can go up there and watch it. Go all the way down to episode 1. This is episode something like 200 and something, but or it's close to 200, isn't it?
176, I believe.
There you go.
No, 177. 177. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So it's moving quickly. By the end of the year, we'll be right at 200, I guess. But in any case, we will be live at CEDIA as well. Steph's going to hold down the fort a couple of days, and then I'll do one of the days with her. And we'll do rAVe TV live on the show floor, and she'll have a bunch of guests, a lot of guests. So you'll have a chance to see what it's like on the show floor as well. She'll do a show floor tour. And don't forget, education is free if you register. So, if you're in the Denver area, California, Nevada, all those areas, consider going. Other than that, we will see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, sounds good. Everyone. Bye, everyone.
It's the weekly show about proAV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.